Hey, it's Avi. Today, I want to talk about something we all face from time to time. Sometimes, we just can't write music. We're struck with an infamous case of writer's block. So what do? I've got just the thing. Or three things. You may have noticed we're in a different spot today. I'm actually at my parents' house. I'm helping them out with a couple of things this week. So I'm staying here and I still needed to do a video for you guys. So we're in this new spot. I'm using my camera on my laptop. So that is why there's a degradation in quality. We should be back up to speed with the regular stuff next time. So thanks for holding out with me. There's lots and lots of snake oil remedies and prompts out there to help with writer's block. And honestly, some of them are great and work, but none of these actually address some of the deeper causes and roots of writer's block. This is especially important if writer's block is a frequent guest in your creative process. For each of the remedies I share, I'm going to dive deep into why it will work and what you might need to ask yourself in order to overcome it or manage it better. Absolutely, the first thing you want to do, or the first thing you absolutely shouldn't do, is don't wait for inspiration. Honestly, this is probably the biggest sin that pretty much all of us make at some point or another. Man, does it suck when we just don't have the fire in us. Even if we do sit down to write, nothing comes out or nothing we like comes out. It's infuriating too, because sometimes we have so much drive, we're so inspired that we have to write. So what's the deal? Well, inspiration has external triggers, right? But it's ultimately an internal state. The truth is, inspiration is unreliable and fleeting. It's not something we can rely on to occur all the time. So instead of waiting around for it, we have to create a context that invites it in. Not the external trigger, rather the internal flow state that inspiration causes. This is that timeless space where writing comes as easy as talking. I know you know what I'm talking about. It feels great, right? That's why we write music. It feels fantastic. By far, the best way to induce this flow state is to create a writing schedule. This is a contract between us and our art. We are committing to show up every time, rain or shine. By literally putting in your schedule, write music, you are creating the context to invite inspiration and cause that flow state. This is so much more empowering than just sitting around and waiting for inspiration to strike. This is what the pros do. The pros keep writing schedules. This is how you get good. This is how we progress. This is how we have control over our process and over our progress. Okay, this all sounds well and good. I'm gonna make a writing schedule. Look at me. How am I supposed to write during these writing sessions, though? I can't write to begin with, right? If I can't write at all at the moment, how am I supposed to write music during these writing sessions that I'm going to keep for myself, 3 to 5 days a week? Which is what I recommend you do, 3 to 5 days a week. This is where the next tip comes in. This is gonna sound weird, but I want you to write bad music. Now that we've set aside time specifically for writing music, for our craft, the thing we want and love to do, it's time to set our expectations correctly. Not everything we write is going to be good. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have value or it doesn't serve a purpose. Every piece of music we write is another stepping stone in our progress as creators. Knowing it's impossible for everything to be good, it's time to embrace the bad, or the bad. It's really not bad. Just for a sec, let me clarify what I mean when I say write bad music. What I'm really saying is let go of all judgment, criticism, or expectation of the music you're writing. In order to help achieve this, I'm a big fan of viewing myself more as the medium for writing music rather than the creator itself. This helps me stave off a ton of pressure that I would otherwise just be heaping onto myself. I let my inner ear be my guide, and at no point is my inner ear saying if something is good or bad, because it's just showing me notes and stuff. More than that, we are actually the worst possible person to critique our work. Right? So why are we even doing this? We shouldn't even tell ourselves if something's good or bad or not. If you want to know if something's good, go show it to somebody else. They'll tell you. Show it to someone, who isn't afraid of telling you when you need to work on something, like a teacher. Go find a teacher. Go find a teacher. Yeah, go do that. But a terrible critic won't just tell you that your music is bad with faulty, if not baseless, evidence. A terrible critic will also tell you that your music is fantastic and amazing, also with equally faulty, if not baseless, evidence. It's okay to like or dislike your music, but it doesn't have to go further than that. Just like other people have favorite songs that you probably don't like. Your preference is something, your musical taste is something else. And it's really helpful to separate that from the music you're writing, at least during the writing process, so you can let the music be what it wants to be. This is where prompts do come in handy, but it's just as easy to set your own limitations or constraints. By sort of gamifying the writing process here, it actually helps us to think more creatively. It's like that old phrase, limitations breed creativity. That's what we're doing here. Believe it or not, once you start actually writing, you're more than likely going to hit that flow state that inspiration causes. In fact, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. This is a practice. This is a skill that you'll get better at. This is not an inborn talent. So what if, after all this, you still can't write music? What do you do then? Well, then it's time to ask yourself some hard questions. I want you to literally take out a piece of paper or a notebook and a pen or pencil. Don't use your device for this. It's important to handwrite this stuff. I'm going to go over 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself. Question number 1. Why do you write music? This may seem simple, but it could also be surprisingly hard to answer. Do you write for work or for play or both? If it's both, that's usually a hard line to navigate. It also could be that writing music just doesn't resonate with you anymore. You're just not enjoying the process. So stop. That was question number 1. Question number 2. What do you want out of your music as a creator? This may have an obvious answer, but I want you to probe deeper. What are you expecting out of your music? Are you putting an impossible or unrealistic amount of pressure on you or your career, an unrealistic type of success? Chances are we're not going to be that great composer or great songwriter that people are talking about 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. And that's okay. But make sure that you are in touch with that, because you may know that rationally, but you might not know that emotionally. And that's something to unpack and work on. Make sure that you're doing this and you're not harming yourself in the process. I know all about that, I promise. For the final question I want you to write down on a piece of paper, write your answer as well, is how do you want writing music to make you feel? Does it feel good when you're in the process of writing, when you're in that flow state? Maybe you're just not feeling it anymore, or at the moment, and that's fine. Take some time away, take a break. Give yourself some space. You may also be making yourself feel bad about your music, and thus also about yourself. This can be distressing. It was for me. This harm, this lowness, this self-violence, if this is also permeating other important aspects of your life, it may be time to consult a mental health professional. I wish I did so much earlier than I actually did, and I swear by the process. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to be open, it does actually work. Exploring these questions is key to understanding your current relationship to music. If you're having trouble getting anything out, getting any music out whatsoever, there may be more going on than just simple writer's block. Be kind to yourself and let yourself feel what you need to feel. I promise you're not alone here. The only reason I know about any of this and can speak to any of this is because I experienced it all myself. So there you have it. That's what you need to do when you can't write music anymore. Stop waiting around for inspiration and invite it into your process by making a writing schedule. Forget about the end result of your music. Just write some bad music. Let go of any judgment, any criticism whatsoever. And especially make sure to get rid of your inner critic. Try and just silence them when possible. They are terrible at their job anyway. Finally, ask yourself the really tough questions and examine your relationship to music. Make sure you're in a good place emotionally and feel comfortable connecting. If you fall into this final category and want the help and support of someone who's gone through it all and come out of the other side, I've just launched a new service that I'm tentatively calling Musical Wellness. Here, you and I will sit down one-on-one every week or so, and we'll get to the bottom of why you're struggling with writing music. I did a little bit of a beta of this with some of my current songwriting and composition students, and there's been some amazing results. One student is now in a band and doing some awesome post-punk stuff. It's super cool. Moreover, this is where I feel a real calling to help my fellow creators navigate their inner musical and creative world. I'm offering a free 30-minute discovery call or consultation so that you can be really confident that you're going to be able to reach your goals and that you're going to be able to reconnect with your music. And to make sure that we're a good fit, that's important. Head to justwritemusic.com/learn, Learn, to book your free 30-minute consultation. There's a link down in the doobly-doo. Thanks so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't, you have some criticism for me, throw it down in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear your feedback. I'm Avi from justwritemusic.com, and don't forget to be awesome. Thanks so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I'm Avi, and don't forget to be awesome.